Good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome back to our school. I am your teacher taking English and grammar, myself Khushbu Dharani. So, my dear students, I hope you all are fine at your home. Today, we will learn lesson number 2 of our grammar textbook. The name of the lesson is Subject and Predicate. But, as I told you, my dear students, whenever you are sitting for the study, revision is must. That what you have done in the previous lecture, that you have to do first, so that can connect you to the present chapter. Okay, my dear students? So, let's start to revise chapter number 1, which we have done in our previous grammar lecture. So, here is chapter number 1, kinds of sentences. As I told you, there are many types of sentences which we already learned in the previous grammar lecture. But today we will revise it so we can connect with our today's chapter. Let's see. Read the words. A good Sanya girl is. What is the word? A good Sanya girl is. Does it make any sense? No. This sentence does not make any sense. The words are not in the correct order. Because the words are not in correct order, we don't understand anything. Right? So let's see what is next. The next sentence is Sanya is a good girl. Now you can see the difference, my dear students. What is the difference? These words make sense. These words make sense because they are in the correct order. So, a group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. What is called a sentence? A group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. Now, let's read with me. A group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. Now, let's see what it should be contain. It must contain a subject and a verb. It must contain a subject and a verb. Verb means predicate. So, my dear students, today we are going to learn chapter number 2, subject and predicate. But as revision is must, so first we will revise the types of sentences. Then we will start our new chapter. Okay? Read these sentences. He is a good sportsman. What is written here? He is a good sportsman. He is not obedient. Rahul is going to school. Now, a sentence that states fact or declares something is called a declarative sentence. For example, let's see. First sentence. He is a good sportsman. So it is declared that he is a good sportsman. He is not obedient. So it is declared that he is not obedient. Rahul is going to school. So it is declared that Rahul is going to school. So a sentence that states fact or declares something is called a declarative sentence. It ends with a full stop. It ends with a full stop. You can see in the sentences. All the sentences are ends with a full stop. How it ends? It ends with a full stop. See. Right? Now let's see the next type of sentence. The next type of sentence is here. Is he a good boy? What is written here? Is he a good boy? What do you want? Are you going shopping? Now, a sentence that asks questions is called interrogative sentence. What is that? A sentence that asks questions is called an interrogative sentence. It ends with a question mark. It ends with a question mark. You can see in the sentences. Let me show you. All the interrogative sentences ends with a question mark. And my dear students, when I explained you this lesson, I gave you easy trick to identify the interrogative sentences. How you can easily identify the interrogative sentences? The easy thing is that at end of the all sentence, what is there? Question mark. What is there? Question mark. Right? So, now read with me the definition of interrogative sentences. Okay? Let's read. A sentence that asks questions is called an interrogative sentence. It ends with a question mark. Understood? Very good. Now let's see what is the next. Open the door. Please don't cry. Turn right from here. What is the first sentence? Open the door. What is that? That is order. When you are ordering anyone, you are speaking loudly. Open the door. Sometimes your brother or sister is annoying you. How you will say? You will say it loudly. Go away. Right? That is the order. What is the next type? Please don't cry. When you want something, you are requesting. Right? You are requesting to your parents, your elders, your teachers. Please give me these things. Please bring me one glass of water. So, it is called request. What it is called? Request. Last is, turn right from here. Turn right from here. Listen to me carefully. Write properly in your book. What is that? All that thing is called instruction. What it is called? Instruction. Okay, I am writing in a short. Instruction. Okay. So, a sentence that orders, requests or gives instruction about something is called an imperative sentence. What it is called? Imperative sentence. Now let's read with me. A sentence that orders, requests or gives instructions about something is called an imperative sentence. It ends with a full stop. Let me show you all the imperative sentences. Either it is order, request or instruction is ending with a full stop. You can see. Right? The first sentence is order. It also ends with full stop. Second sentence is request. Is also ends with full stop. Last sentence is instruction. It also ends with full stop. So, when it is ordered, request or instruction is called an imperative sentence. Okay? So now, let's see the next type of sentence. How sad! What a surprise! What are the sentences? How sad! What a surprise! These sentences show an expression. Expression of what? Let's see. These sentences show an expression of joy or sorrow. Joy means happiness. Sorrow means sadness. Right? So let's see what is the definition. Let's see the definition of exclamatory sentence. A sentence that expresses any feeling or emotion like joy, sorrow, or anger about something is called an exclamatory sentence. It ends with an exclamation mark. Joy means happiness, sorrow means sadness. Okay, my dear students. So, let me tell you all the types of sentences in short. Okay. So, today, first we revise declarative sentence. Which sentence we revise? Declarative sentence. Then we revise interrogative sentence. After declarative sentence, which sentence we revise? Interrogative sentence. After interrogative sentence, which sentence we revise? We revise imperative sentence. Which sentence we revise? Imperative sentence. And after imperative sentence, a last type of sentence is exclamatory sentence. Which is the last type of sentence? Exclamatory sentence, right? So I hope, my dear students, you all remember about the sentences. So now let's start our today's session is chapter number 2. Chapter number 2 is subject and predicate. What is the name of chapter number 2? Subject and predicate. Predicate means verb. What is the meaning of predicate? A verb. Okay, let's start. Read the words. Let's read. You all will read with me together. Okay, let's start. The puppy broke the flower pot. The puppy broke the flower pot. A spider spins webs. Mahesh is flying a kite. Let's read it again. The puppy broke the flower pot. A spider spins webs. Mahesh is flying a kite. Let's see what is next. Each of these sentences is made up of two parts, the subject and the predicate. How many parts? Two, subject and predicate. Each of the sentences is made up of two parts. How many parts? Two parts. The subject and the predicate. Subject and predicate. Now let's see what is subject and what is predicate. Okay. The subject is the person. The subject is the person, animal or thing that we are talking about, or the person, animal or thing that is doing the action. Means, what is the subject? The subject is the person, any animal or thing that we are talking about, or the person, animal or thing that is doing the action. Let me show you example. The first is, the puppy broke the flower pot. So what is the subject? Any person, animal or thing that is doing the action. So in this sentence, who is doing the action? The puppy. So what is the puppy? Puppy is a subject. What is the puppy? Subject. Right? Let's see next sentence. A spider spins webs. A spider spins webs. So in this sentence, who spins the web? Spider. An insect. Any insect, animal, person or a thing is called a subject who is doing action. So here who is doing a action? Spider. So who is the subject? Spider. We will write S for the subject. Okay. Last sentence. Mahesh is flying a kite. Mahesh is flying a kite. In this sentence, who is doing the action? Who is flying a kite? Mahesh. So, what is our subject? Mahesh. Okay. Let's do it again. Sentence 1. The puppy broke the flower pot. So, this time, my dear students, you are going to give me answer. Okay. The puppy broke the flower pot. In this sentence, who is doing action? Who broke the flower pot? Yes, the puppy. So what is our subject? Puppy. We will write S for the subject. Okay. Next is a spider spins webs. Who spins webs? A spider. Very good. So what is the subject? Spider. Okay. Last is Mahesh is flying a kite. Who is flying a kite? Who is flying a kite, my dear students? Yes, Mahesh. So, what is the subject here? Mahesh is the subject. Okay. So, let's read the definition with me. Okay. Let's start. The subject is the person, animal or thing that we are talking about, or the person, animal or thing that is doing the action. That is the subject. Now let's see what is the predicate. Okay. The predicate adds more information about the subject. It contains the verb. Now let's read with me. The predicate adds more information about the subject. It contains the verb. It must contain the verb. Now let's see the examples again. Look here. What is the first sentence? The first sentence is the puppy broke the flower pot. In this sentence, what is the subject? Circle the subject, okay? What is the subject? The puppy. So, a sentence which gives information about the subject is called predicate. So, here the sentence broke the flower is giving information about the subject, right? It is giving information about the puppy, that puppy broke the flower pot. So it is become our predicate. We will write P for the predicate and S for the subject. Okay? Let's do it again. In the first sentence, what is the subject? What is the subject? The puppy. Right, it is the subject. Now, a sentence which gives information about the subject is called predicate. A sentence which gives information about the subject is called predicate. So, broke the flower. This is the information about what? About the subject. So, this remaining part is called predicate. We will write P for the predicate. Okay. Let's see the next sentence. A spider spins webs. A spider spins webs. So here, what is the subject? Spider. Very good, my dear students. You all know now. A spider is the subject. Spins webs. So again, let me give you a reminder. A sentence which gives you information about the subject is called predicate. Right? So, spins webs. It is the information which is given about the subject. So the remaining part is called predicate. Understood? Very nice. Now let's see the last sentence. Mahesh is flying a kite. Mahesh is flying a kite. In this sentence, what is the subject? Yes, very good. Mahesh is subject. And what is the predicate? Let me tell you. A sentence which gives you information about the subject is called a predicate. Right? So, is flying a kite is called a predicate. Is flying a kite is the information about the subject, about the Mahesh. So, that sentence is called a predicate. So, we will write P for the predicate. Understood? Okay. So, now, it must be clear to you that what is the subject and what is the predicate. But, still, let's revise both the definition together. Okay? So, you have to read with me. Okay? The definition of the subject and the predicate. Let's start. Read it loudly so all other also can understand. Okay, let's start. The subject is the person, animal or thing that we are talking about, or the person, animal or thing that is doing the action. That is called subject. What is it is called? Subject. Now let's see what is predicate. The predicate adds more information about the subject. It contains the verb. The predicate adds more information about the subject. It contains the verb. Understood? Very nice. Now let's see the exercise. Okay. It's all of us favorite exercise. Match each subject with its predicate. Okay. So, number A, honesty. So, honesty, which sentence can be connected with the honesty? Yes, try to remember, my dear students. Honesty, which sentence we can connect with the honesty? Yes, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. So here, honesty is the subject and is the best policy predicate. Okay. A neighbor. So in this, which sentence can we connect with neighbor? Yes. A neighbor is a person who lives near your house. A neighbor is a person who lives near your house. So here, a neighbor is a subject and all remaining part is a predicate. See, birds. So, which sentence can we connect with birds? Yes, birds fly. Birds fly. So here, birds is a subject and fly is a predicate. Very good. Next is a lioness. A lioness. So which sentence can we connect with the lioness? A lioness does not have a man. A lioness does not have a mane. So, a lioness is a subject and does not have a mane is a predicate. A lioness is a subject and does not have a man is a predicate. Next is Spain. Spain. So, what is the answer? Spain won the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Which sentence can we connect? Spain won the 2010 FIFA World Cup. So here Spain is the subject and won the 2010 FIFA World Cup is the predicate. Right? So let's see the next questions. Both of us. Now tell me, my dear students, which sentence can we connect? Both of us. Yes, tell me. Both of us like to sing. Both of us like to sing. Now, next question is father. Next question is father. So, which sentence can we connect with father? Yes. Father bought me a doll. Father bought me a doll. So, in this sentence, father is a subject, bought me a doll is a predicate. Okay. Next is a king. So, which sentence can we connect with the king? Yes, a king wears a crown. A king wears a crown. So, in this sentence, king is a subject, wears a crown is a predicate. Right? Okay. Let's see the next question. A kacha house. A kacha house. So, now only two sentences are remaining. Is all grey or is built of stones and mud? So, which can be answered? Yes, a kacha house is built of stones and mud. A kacha house is built of stones and mud. Very nice. And the last, grandfather's hair. Only one is remaining. Is all grey. So here grandfather's hair is the subject, is all grey is the predicate. Now my dear students, now you all have the clear this topic that what is the subject and what is the predicate. A subject is a main thing like person, animal or anything in the sentence is called a subject. And a sentence which gives you information about subject is called a predicate. Okay. So, let's see our next exercise. So, it is the very easy exercise. Circle the subjects and underline the predicates. Circle the subjects and underline the predicates. So, let's start. It's very easy. You can do it easily within 2 minutes. Right? Let's do it. The first one is I speak loudly. I speak loudly. So in this sentence, what is the subject? I. And the remaining part is predicate because it gives information about the subject. Number B, India has many states. So in this sentence about what we are talking? Yes, about India. So India is the subject and remaining sentence which gives information about subject is called predicate. C, the mouse is dancing because the cat is away. The mouse is dancing because the cat is away. So now my dear students, tell me, here two names are given, the mouse and the cat. So which is the subject, the mouse or the cat? The subject is the mouse. The subject is the mouse. Why? Because the mouse is doing the action. The mouse is dancing because the cat is away. So it is the predicate. Okay. Let's see the next one. Last 3 sentences. Okay, let's start. The Sahara Desert is very big. The Sahara Desert is very big. So in this sentence, what is the subject? The Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert is very big. Predicate. Gandhiji was a popular leader. Gandhiji was a popular leader. So Gandhiji is a subject, was a popular leader is a predicate. So now my dear students, like this you have to do exercises in your rough book. Listen to me very carefully, okay? All the exercises you have to write in your rough book. Till then, bye bye, take care. Now we will meet in our next lecture. So take care of yourself and your family and animals and birds too. Okay? Bye bye. Take care. Bye.